With every snap that Saints quarterback Drew Brees takes,
he's a good quarterback.
Every pass that he throws,
he's got a good arm.
Or every touchdown he hands off,
I want to be like him.
He does so using everything he was born with. The same can be said for 5th grader Alejondro Rodriguez.
Alejondro has more heart than probably most kids his age. Alejondro, he doesn't shy away from anything. He's always up for a challenge, and he acts like he is just as normal as any other child.
That attitude's not just on the sporting fields.
I've taught almost 29 years, and I've never had a student like Alejondro Rodriguez. He inspired me every single day.
But Alejondro would much rather be outside with his friends, working towards his goal of being the next Drew Brees.
I tried practicing catching, throwing, and, I just want to be like a football player one day.
But there will be a harsh reality at some point for this bright little guy, because despite knowing the technique of catching a football,
put your thumbs down and try and make a triangle angle to catch the ball.
Now, I'm going to have to ask you. I mean, you don't have thumbs, so how do you focus on that? I mean, do you?
Well, I keep it like this also when I usually catch the ball, and sometimes I catch it mostly when I put my hands together. Like this.
As you can see, without full-length arms or hands, he has learned to live life like any other 10-year-old.
There's nothing that Alejondro can't do. There's absolutely nothing. Anything that transpires, he's going to be in on it. He's going to do it. He's going to do it with a smile on his face.
And tucked into his tennis shoes are 2 little metal legs that run all the way up to the knee.
No, there wasn't a disorder or a disease. I was just born like this, the way I am.
And when the children do laps during PE, well, a lot of them start walking after about a quarter lap. He keeps running and running. He's sweating.
He just doesn't think about it. I know when he was doing the exercises, he was leading one of our exercises, and he said, hands across your chest, and he doesn't have hands, but he puts his arms across his chest, and he does not think he's any different than anybody else.
Alejondro is a popular kid at J.C. Ellis who rarely gets picked last in any of the sports that they play.
We do soccer, and he loves playing soccer, and he can kick the ball. I think you saw him, catching a football. He plays basketball, and we do kickball, and those are the, some of the activities that we do.
But next year, middle school begins, and that's when the childhood innocence tends to end, and sometimes teenage cruelty begins.
I don't care about what they do and say. I just ignore it.
The fact is, he can only run so fast, he can only throw and catch so well.
But ultimately, it's going to be tough. At some point, he's going to have to accept that, right?
It will, but he'll make the best of it.
This past May, Alejondro was a participant in the Gumbo Games, an Olympics of sort geared for students with disabilities. And as you might have guessed, he excelled there too, taking home first place finishes in the 60-meter, the 100-meter, and of all things, the discus in his own division. And yet, despite the awards, Alejondro just wants to talk about what else?
Football.
Spend 5 minutes with Alejondro and you'll know he's hooked on the game and has the attitude that we all hope that sports heroes of today have, but often simply do not. And although he's too young to have a mantra to live by just yet, this line may just do.
Even though I'm the only person that's like this, I can still do lots of stuff to do, and I'm still normal.